Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a guy who is bringing AI to the mortgage and home services industry. He is AI before AI was cool. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
I love to feature disruptors on my show. Max Townsend is in the studio. He is a true disruptor. He's disrupting some industries that have been doing it the same way for dozens of years, if not 100 years. The mortgage industry and home services. Max Townsend, who is the founder of Streetwork. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So when you're at a cocktail party and somebody says, "Tell me about Streetwork," how do you describe it?
Yeah, Streetwork solves a couple of problems. And if you've ever bought a home and got a mortgage, it can be a confusing process. So we solve that problem of making it easier for not only the person who's making the decision of which option should I choose, but also for the loan officer or mortgage broker themselves to explain it. And so we give them a tool that allows them to basically, even though they may be apart or over the phone, basically effectively turn the mortgage broker's screen over to the person buying the home and say, let's talk through these options side by side.
Wow. And you were telling me a story before we started rolling that you were working with one of the big mortgage companies and you had a boss who came to you and said you got something special. Will you share that story?
So in the 90s, late 90s, this tool that I've recreated with AI was started, and it was in Excel. And we, at this company where we were just on the phone all day long talking to people about options and choices, at first, people were just using a little $3 calculator to answer complicated questions. And so I got a Excel for Dummies book, and I sat down and figured out how to create something that answered all these questions that we got day after day, call after call after call. And at one point, one of the managers came to me and said, "Hey, come here, I want to show you something." Took me to the back of the sales floor. All you could see were the backs of heads and computer screens. There was probably 100, 150 of them. And he goes, "What do you see on every screen?" And it was my tool that I created. Every single person was using it. It just caught on like wildfire. So that's where it has its beginning.
Yes.
And we are all seeing AI come through for us right now like we've never seen before. This tool is something that I've tried to hire people in India, people in China to recreate, and spent a ton of money in the process. Could never really get it there. And just, over the last year or so, as AI has taken us all by storm, I was able to do effectively the same thing, is just pour my head into it and solve the problem myself without having to tell somebody else what the questions and the answers are.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you remember like 1995. I remember 1995, which was the first time, instead of getting like an interoffice memo envelope with a memo inside that you had the little thing, like it switched from that to email. And that's what we're going through right now with AI, is that it's even bigger than that shift where we were doing things one way before, and now all of a sudden we're doing things differently.
All right, we're going to pull up your website, and as we scroll on the website, describe your ideal client for this part of the company.
Yeah, so this is Streetwork. Streetwork is the name of the tool. As you can see up there, there was a little bit of a AI agent receptionist who answers the phone and that sort of thing. So the who is the perfect person for this? It's a mortgage broker or anybody in that ecosystem that might be a wholesale account executive who works hand in hand with mortgage brokers, or a title rep, or even a homeowner's insurance person. So there's a part of it that's the technology and the tool, which builds trust, brings clarity. There's another part of it, which is marketing, where you need a growth engine that has a system of bringing your ideal clients toward you, and then a way for you to turn those people into referral partners.
Yes.
So it really works for everybody in the ecosystem.
All right, you have a sister company, Streetwork Marketing. Let's put that on the screen. And so this is for the plumbers, electricians?
Yes. Yeah, everyone that you're going to see running around with a car wrap is one, somebody that we would help serve with this marketing. And really, again, there's psychology that goes into it, but these people that run these companies, and we're talking about small to medium-sized business owners, Jeff, they operate in chaos every day.
Wow.
With the phone ring and fires to put out. What we do is we help them with systems to contain that chaos. And many of them are paying all kinds of money on ads. They have to have the phone answered every time it rings. That's, that's not an option. You've probably seen people out at dinner and, God forbid, sometimes they'll even have a Bluetooth thing in their ear and they're having dinner with their wife, and then all of a sudden they got to get up and walk.
Right.
Not good. They need a better system to handle the phone every time it rings, and they've got to be able to, on autopilot, generate positive reviews and Google reviews and all that stuff. That's how their business works. So we solve that problem for them, which is more of a how do you handle scale with systems kind of problem. The mortgage ecosystem problem is more of a how do you bring more high quality referral partners toward you, and then how do you instill trust with the people that you're talking to?
Well, and just the importance of answering the phone. My wife and I had a pest control issue a couple weeks ago, and the person that we had been using for many, many years, they wouldn't return our phone calls, and we wondered if they went out of business. I mean, there are money leaks all over the place, aren't there?
That's exactly it. And, if you think about it from your side, the customer side, you just got a to-do list that you're trying to check off an item on. And if they don't answer the phone, you're going to call the next guy that can check that item off your list.
Correct.
So that's what we're doing with AI inside of that business, is we deploy AI receptionists, and they they're trained on your business. So we scrape your website, we give them all these knowledge-based rules of how to handle things. For most of them, they're really just trying to create a time on a calendar for a callback so that person doesn't go to the next person on the list.
Yes.
Right? So AI has come so far nowadays that when you talk to this AI receptionist, you may not even realize it's not a person. I mean,
wow.
If you're listening closely, you would, but their goal is to just create a callback on the calendar so that you stop calling the next guy on the list.
Wow,
Yeah.
so powerful. Hey, we have about 2 minutes left, so talk to the company owner who probably needs to hire you.
Yeah, so if you're in the mortgage ecosystem, this is a problem that we're solving that has not been solved before. Being able to walk people through options side by side without them being in front of you, they're at a distance, and being able to build that trust through that process. What you're trying to get from the person on the other end of the phone is not the necessarily psychological best answer to what's your rate. It's, here are your options, and let me tell you why each of these could make sense. And if you're a person buying a home, hopefully you get one of these mortgage loan officers, you can see that, who's thinking the same way of like, If I could just put all these options in front of them, it would make it easier for them. It would make it easier for us. And then what you have is buy-in. And when you have buy-in, everything else goes smoother. If you're fighting it, on rate and all that kind of stuff, it can be difficult to get buy-in. On the home services side, we get it that you are operating in chaos and that you probably have 4 or 5 systems that you're using already to fight this everyday problem. So we don't try to come in and replace all those systems at once. It would just be more chaos. What we do is we just try to solve one problem at a time without disrupting what you've got going on. So for what that looks like for most small to medium business owners, is just forwarding your phone to the AI receptionist at whatever time you're in a meeting or whatever time you are gone for the day.
Yes.
And so those calls, like you just explained, don't end up as hang-ups with no voicemail. They end up with calendar appointments the next day you come into the office.
Wow, so powerful. We're going to end with both websites. First, streetwork.com is his main website, and then his home services website is streetworkmarketing.com, the great Max Townsend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.